In the fundamental biblical sense, faith is a relationship founded on trust, loyalty, commitment, and dependence upon others. Faith requires sustenance and nourishment to survive. Today's first reading provides an example of faith that needs sustenance during crisis and demonstrates how it can be accompanied. Because of Habakkuk, he's wondering, he doesn't know what is to be done, but that faith has to be accompanied by sustenance. On the same note, today's gospel from Luke the evangelist, the apostles ask Jesus to increase their faith. Jesus gives them an example of the mustard seed. Jesus' mustard seed analogy or example teaches that the authentic faith, even small, can be very possible, of course, and can make things move. Not because of our own strength, but through God's power in faith. The disciples had the faith, but their faith is little, and therefore needed to be nourished and sustained in order to move the mountains. I know when we are here, we have the faith, but our faith probably does not measure. But the faith you have is important. It needs to be cherished. You have it, it needs to be cherished. That's why you are here. Faith is not a commodity to be acquired, but an ability that requires constant practice to grow, to reach its potential. The parable of the master attending the slave is a reminder that faith expresses itself in obedience, in humility, not speaking praise or reward. The same faith grows through faithful and humble service, without recognition, without profit, without fame, without gratitude or rewarding. When you have the faith and you are working for people, you are serving people, don't expect to be thanked. Instead, it's God who will reward you accordingly. That's why we say, tenda mema, nenda zako. Mengine yaachie Mungu. The truth is, however, whoever comes to Jesus has already some seeds of faith in him, which can thrive and grow through practice of faith in everyday situation, particularly through rendering of the services. By living out fair faith, the Christians maintain a life-giving relationship with God, as it's beautifully expressed by the psalmist. Enter, let us bow down in worship and kneel before the Lord who made us, for he is our God. Psalm 95, 5 to 7. In our second reading, that's the first letter of St. Paul to Timothy, Paul is reminding Timothy to rekindle the faith that is within him, which he got through the laying on of hands. And that is the gift of faith. Paul is assuring Timothy, who was his son in faith, that God gave him the spirit of love and self-control. With strong faith, he should therefore continue to testify to our Lord, though he has to share his sufferings, the sufferings of the gospel. Timothy is being urged to follow the sound words which he received from Paul, coupled with faith and love. He was to guard the truth, but also persevere and preserve the faith. He is to find sustenance, nourishment, for his faith is an example of those from whom he has received. Timothy received the faith, one, from his grandparents. He received the faith from his parents, and he received the faith from St. Paul himself, and therefore he must preserve it. Paul's message to Timothy shows that faith is a gift. We must nurture, we have to protect, we have to cherish, especially when we have fear or when we are being opposed. We must uphold it. Nobody should threaten us. We need that strong faith in us. And then we learn that in our readings, of course from our readings today, that faith in waiting, it means God's timing is the best, but not ours. We are only called to trust even when we do not see immediate results. You know, for us, we want to see results, immediate results. But you wait. God has his own time when he is to respond. Don't lose that faith. You need it. Faith is in action is necessary, since true faith leads to obedient service, but not to applause and not just to be praised, but because you want to do certain duties, you want to serve. Faith is a gift, and discipline must be stirred, nurtured, and relied upon, especially during hard times. Living faith must be sustained and must be grown. Otherwise, it will dry up. It has to be nourished. It has to be cherished. Otherwise, if not, it will dry up, and you will no longer be a Christian. In the Swahili, you will be a kafir, an unbeliever. When facing personal or societal injustice, hold fast to hope. Like Habakkuk, bring your lament honestly to God, but also listen to his vision. There's nothing wrong to argue with God. There's nothing wrong to complain to God. Complain to God. He's your father. Complain to him when you have a problem. Complain to him. But put your knees down and say, now this is where I am. Why is this happening? He will help you. He will help you. Do not be discouraged if your faith feels small. Focus on its direction and trust in God. Sometimes when you are here and when you see things are not happening, you feel your faith is little. Don't be worried about that. Just go on your knees and pray. That time when you feel your faith is little, actually you are making progress. You have to pray more and more, and God will help you. What you are asking, he will grant it to you. Probably not the way you want it, but the way God himself wants it to be, or he wants you to receive what you have asked for. And also, with this we are asked to serve with humility, without seeking credit. When you are serving the people, when you are helping, you help without seeking credit or to be praised. Faith is shown in quiet perseverance and fidelity. In conclusion, what can we say then about faith? We are invited to commit ourselves to mature, humble, and a resilient faith, one that trusts in God even in uncertainty and serves with joy, not for recognition, but for love. Today, we are being challenged to remain faithful, even when God's promises seem delayed, and recognize that faith is not about quantity, but about quality, depth, and trust. Our faith can be strengthened. Our faith has to be strengthened through these ways. 1, through prayer. 2, sacraments. 3, the teachings of the church. And 4, through the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo.